never be able to mitigate in their lives. They are literally ruined. They're zombies. And then when you factor in the depleted uranium, it's over for many, if not most of them. Be right back. All right, let's get back to Gerald. Now, if you haven't, my friend, had a chance to go to the top of my site and look at that featured story, the article by Bob Nichols, whom I really hope and certainly deserves that he be considered and probably given another Project Censored Journalism Award. It's up there about depleted uranium. It's crucial. It's the second top story. Stunning DU revelations. You can hear the actual interview. You can look at a video, or you can read the story. This is an amazingly important story about how 1 microgram of DU goes into the nose from the dust storms and just floating in the air, where it goes from the nose, which is right up the olfactory nerve into the brain, and it sets up shop. It is a nuclear machine gun that fires in a 360-degree full radius like a sphere, non-stop, never runs out of bullets, Gerald, never jams. It fires nuclear bullets at 100 miles an hour all day, all night for 4.3 billion years. 1.2 million rounds per day are fired from that nuclear machine gun in all directions, decimating, destroying, and turning the adjacent cells up to 30 cells in depth away from the nuclear machine gun, turning them into mush. And then new cells fall into that cavity because the debris is carried away by the body. They are in turn made into mush. So what we're having done to our men and women, and they're all exposed to it, as are all the poor people living there, they're going to be slowly but surely turned into zombies, if they aren't already being turned into zombies by the pharmacidal maniacs who flood their bodies with chemical toxins called prescriptions. I saw the one picture of the GI, and his eyes looked like a Halloween mask. He had before him at least 25 bottles of drugs that the medics and other doctors, so-called doctors in the service, gave him to deal with his depression. I mean, here's a guy who's probably killed a couple of dozen people, seen things happen that you can't hit the reset button and make it go away, and he's ruined for life. You don't take those things out of your mind. It's like a 7 or 8-year-old kid, a little girl, seeing hardcore pornography. Her childhood is over. It's done. You do not erase those images from her subconscious. You do not erase the images of death from the subconscious minds and bodies and souls of our young boys and girls, and they're teenagers, many of them, 18, 19, who go over there and are either blown to bits, see their friends blown to bits, or kill people in a rage of retaliation because they've been brought up in a world of abject unreality with these virtual reality video games where they can kill, and I think the average was something like 300,000 or 400,000 by the time they were 20 if they played the games that long. There's no reset button. So we're destroying humankind from within. We're destroying the next generations. Plural. It's that bad.
You know, I always get a kick. I hear it all the time from the lefties and the liberals making fun of the people that are the Tea Party members. Now, I'm very aware that the Tea Party has been co-opted by the Republican Party.
Right.
But there are a lot of people out there, you know, that really really disgusted with what's going on and really want a new way. And, of course, you know, we saw this coming. We predicted the tax revolts in 2007 when Bush was president.
Right. Well, let's get 3.5 million of their butts out in the streets, in Washington. Let's get 5 or 10 million up there and demand real reform. It ain't going to come through the Congress.
No, and it's not going to come through the Tea Party because, again, you know, they've been hijacked by the Republicans. Having said that, and I listen to all the lefties and the liberals make fun of the Tea Party people, and, you know, what maniacs they are, and boy, could you imagine if they would get in power. Oh, yeah, could you imagine?
No.
You know what they'd be doing, Jeff? They'd be sending Predator drones into Pakistan and killing innocent people.
Yep.
Oh, they would be increasing the troops into Afghanistan and expanding the war. Oh, they would do that too? You know, come on, you put a white shirt and a red tie on the guy, and you call him Obama or Bush or Clinton, and that makes them not mass murderers?
Right.
Why are people so afraid to call a spade a spade. They're mass murderers. Go to the dictionary, look up the definition.
The mass murderers with your money, folks, and your permission. By your silence, you allow. By
Not only
your
by
silence,
your silence
you allow.
Stop complaining about the higher taxes. Stop complaining that you can't make ends meet. Stop complaining you can't pay the bills. Because they're robbing you blind to keep these wars going, these rackets. You know, I'm not a kid. There were no such thing as military contractors. There were no people setting up McDonald's and Burger Kings on bases. There were no contractors doing the laundry, feeding the troops. How about this one? What a bunch of weenies they become. They need private contractors to protect them?
Good point.
Who made this story up?
Yeah. Good point. Excellent point. Yeah,
private contractors.
Right. Well, Monsanto has been using one of these firms called Total Intelligence.
Total Intelligence.
There was,
I love it.
Yeah, cute. There was a rumor, a guy misread the story that Monsanto had bought Blackwater, XE, Blackwater, but apparently they had just consulted with him. It wouldn't surprise me to see Monsanto buy Blackwater, a private mercenary army for this vicious corporation of absolute subjugation of the human species and the planet through its agrarian experimentation, among other things, among many other things. And you got the pharmacidal maniac corporations, but Monsanto would be a prime candidate to have its own mercenary force. Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah. This way they could force you into passing the laws that they want to. Yeah. They don't have to pay off the politicians anymore. They could save a couple of bucks by just putting guns to everybody's head.
Look, folks, until and unless Americans remember what it's like to get out in the streets, they're going to... I don't care how many emails or faxes you send to your Congress traitor, whether he be male or female, or whether she be male or female, who knows anymore. It doesn't matter. They've sold you out. They come home and they tough it out for a couple of weeks, and they go to these town hall meetings, if they bother to have them at all, and they stand up there and lie to the people, and they dissemble, and they pervert reality. Oh, that's not what really happened. You don't understand. These swine, these scum, are the absolute example of what treason is in the dictionary. You can see it in 3D color. Just go and see these people. Check their voting records. You know, the average constituent in most of these people's district, Gerald, they don't even know how these people voted on things. They really don't.
Well, look at the average person. Look what's happened to this country.
Well,
as I mentioned, we're finishing up the Autumn Trends Journal.
I can't wait.
There's some shocking news into it.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Because one of the things we're writing about is that we are going to experience a major plague in this country. It's already underway. And having said that, without going further, we're also, on the other side of the coin, we have announced actually on 10-10-10 that the American Renaissance has begun. As dark as it is now, and remember there was a plague that preceded the last Renaissance, a plague will precede this one.
Interesting.
But simultaneously one is beginning. We put a big sign 45 feet long, 2 feet high, across the whole length of the front of our building. The American Renaissance has begun. It's a new age. It's not only art. It's going to be an age of quality. It's that 20% that we talk about, the 20% solution, the people listening to your show and others, the people that could think for themselves, the people that know what real food is, what quality of life is. They have jobs that define the definition of right livelihood. These are people that are not chained to the chain, and we're going to see it happen. The elements of this new Renaissance, as we define it, one is going to be beauty. Beauty does not lie in the eyes of the beholder. It lies in the behavior. You cannot take someone and put them in a surrounding of beauty and not have them be affected by it.
I like that.
You go back to the last days of World War II, as the Germans are being defeated, and the Nazis are pulling out of France. And Hitler gave the order to destroy all the museums and the art. And the generals couldn't bring themselves to it. They couldn't destroy the beauty. Beauty doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with quality. Quality isn't subjective. If you subject yourself to going to a all-you-could-eat buffet or that endless pasta bowl, well, you know, you don't know what quality is. But you sit down at a home-cooked meal with garden-fresh vegetables and eggs that don't come from Auschwitz Farms chicken coop concentration camp, you know the difference between those eggs and the one my friend Mary gets from her hens every day.
Yeah, and if you know what a real tomato tastes like, you'll say, what the hell are those things in the stores that are red?
Pink.
Yeah, it's amazing. People just truly don't understand, or a real apple. But
that's what the Renaissance is about. Well, so as we're moving out of this, going into the worst of the Dark Age, a Renaissance is being born simultaneously.
The pendulum.
Yes. We're going to have a rejuvenation of America. Going back, a Renaissance is a rebirth. Going back and picking out what was best about this country. Do I have to tell you about music and Mario Lanza?
Nope. And we've got to get back to great music, great art, great expressions of humankind. They can't do it anymore because
great literature.
Yeah. No, it's not doable by and large.
It is. It's happening.
Well, it is, but the general rank and file of the people now not only can't regulate, I should say recognize what's great, because they don't have the background.
No,
Some
and
do.
they won't make it. When you look at the Black Plague, they lost up to two-thirds of Europe.
That's
the strong will survive.
All right, well, when's the journal out, the next one?
Oh, it'll be out at the end of next week.
Okay. Thank you, Gerald. It's great to talk to you.
Hey, thank you, Jeff.
I look forward to next time. Good night. Gerald Celente. And he's amazing. Okay, back.